welcome back to my channel. Hello. If you remember correctly, last time I touched a little bit on the relationship I went to after breaking up with my first boyfriend, which was like with the father of my kids, right? But I think I got you a little bit confused because I skipped quite a few a few things. So I'm just going to do a quick, I call it a recap or quick fill up, because I'm going to fill in the details and so that you may understand totally how this actually happened. So you'll remember my first boyfriend and the fact that we broke up because he had anger management issues. And so what happened actually was, how did we break up? We broke up in this way. He was a bit uptight. I don't even know how to explain that, but he was a bit uptight in so many things. He wanted me to go and live with his mom, and there were just issues here and there that I couldn't cope with. I just came out of school. I was just getting to know myself and starting life, and then you tell me to go live with your parents or your mom. That wasn't gonna work for me. And the reason he was doing this was actually because he had found, or he managed to get a job outside the country. Did you hear that right now? Outside the country. Those days, my dear friends, getting a job outside the country, even just, I used to be honored just being asked by somebody to see them off at the airport. There was a waving bay that time. I don't even know what we used to do at the waving bay because you wouldn't see anybody. You didn't even know which aircraft they got into, but there was like this waving bay we used to go to and wave. So for me, being told by somebody, being asked by someone to see them off because they're leaving the country was like, oh wow, I am so honored, you guys. I'm seeing someone off at the airport. I never ever dreamt that I'm gonna get on a plane before. That wasn't something I ever dreamt about. So he managed to find a job outside the country, but before he left, he suggested I should go and stay with his mom, and I was like, I don't think so. I'm still very young, and so I want to establish myself, find myself a better job, just build myself up. You go and work outside the country. When you come, we will get back together, hopefully. You never know. But that was, I couldn't have just like jumped from school, first relationship, bang, moved with his parents. That wasn't gonna work for me. Anyway, so what happened is he was okay, because even after we broke up, he managed to find me a job in Mombasa. And my friends, guys, finding a job those days was this way. All right, just let me try and find something to show you with. Finding a job those days worked out like this. So you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who is a manager somewhere. So what this guy literally did was, you want a job? What experience do you have? And I was like, none. None. And he was like, say no more. Say no. That is enough. Say no more. Hi. I have this friend of mine who, you can find a place in your establishment to just, work. Yeah, okay, I'll send them right away. Okay, perfect. And he was like, okay, so you get on a bus, go to Mombasa. This is the name of the hotel. This is the name of the guy you're going to meet, and he's going to give you a job. You have 4 days to get there. and here's some money for your transport. Wait, did you, is that, you mean that was a job, guys? When is the interview? No interview, you hired. What am I going to be doing? You're going to be a receptionist, and sometimes you're going to be a cashier. You, you realize you're talking to me, right? Like, hello, it's me. Hey, cashier. How can I be a cashier? I mean, anyway, guys, Mombasa from Nairobi was, I think, 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours. So anyway, I still got on the bus, and these buses, by the way, used to stop, I think, halfway, a place called Mutitwande. It's halfway through, like on your way to Mombasa. And you guys would get out, um, go have something to eat. Those days it was pilau. Is it pilau or biryani? One. I should do one tour soon, in those buses. So I got on the bus, we went, stopped on Motit one day, had some food, got back on the bus. In that time, I had been warned, I had been like warned completely by my mom to not speak to strangers, do not eat anything from strangers, and hold your purse. So I got to Mombasa, and the good thing is that they knew exactly. The schedule was quite, unless something really happened, it was a straightforward one. Which means if I left Nairobi at this particular time, I would be in Mombasa at this particular time. So what happened is he informed his brother who worked there the time that I was going to arrive in Mombasa. So this gentleman actually picked me up at the bus stop. I think I had met him once in Nairobi, so I actually had an idea of how he looked like. I didn't have like a photo. No, I knew how he looked like. So he took me to the hotel. It was a big hotel. I mean, for me, it was a big hotel. At least then, maybe now if I went there, I'll be like, okay. But it was a good hotel, a good place. Busy on the weekends, very, very busy actually on the weekends. And those are the days they used to have like the star musicians coming to perform over the weekend. And it was totally full. We would even be asked, like I worked at the reception, so I would be even called to help those people who worked at the bar, to help out with service. Which was okay. I mean, I enjoyed myself there, but I was so tiny. So I got there, and the manager came. He looked at me and was like, oh, okay, so you are the one. I see. Well, you're late. Huh? What? You are late because the job was available until yesterday. Someone else has started doing that. What? So, okay. But not to worry. Just go to, hey, he called someone up there. Like, help her get some place to rest and take a shower at least. So they gave me a room in the hotel. One of like the smallest ones there was, but the smallest one there was, but it was okay because it was my own hotel room, guys. Excuse me, I need a moment here. I mean, you all remember the history. This was my own hotel room. I had a place to shower, my own bed, and that was more than enough for me. So I went upstairs, took a shower, got changed, came downstairs, and now he said to me, okay, so if you want to wait because there's someone who is going for maternity leave or something, you can wait. In the meantime, I could give you a job as a waitress. And I was like, okay, what do I have to do? Well, you have to know how to serve, and so we will give you a training for 2 days, but just know it's close to the weekend, so you have to really catch up. I was on it, man. What do you want me to do? Wipe the tables? Serve some beer? So I worked, I think, for 1 week, and then I got back. I got my job, which was actually the job I had, like been called for, which was the reception, which was just like sitting down behind a desk, checking in people. Checking in was, God, it was just like so typical. You would give them this manual receipts, write on a piece of paper, and then give them their room number, blah blah blah, and they would head to their rooms. And now, this is the place where I met the father of my kids. How did I meet him? So he was one of the star musicians or star singers who came to perform over the weekend. So he came by, performed for one night, and I was like being told by people, hey, there is a star guy performing over there, because I was just busy at the reception, and I was done I think at 10 o'clock in the evening. So I passed by the bar, which was a big one by the way, to just see this new musician. I looked at him and I was like, wow, how can someone be so cute? How can he play the guitar so nice? Anyway, not my cup of tea in terms of, it's not my league. That's what I meant. Not my league. I mean, how can I? Yes, come on, wake up, snap out of it. So that night went by. Apparently, he had seen me too. That night went by, and the following day, I was actually almost just, starting my duty or at the end of my shift. I don't quite remember that detail very, very well. But he came by the reception. Wait, I need a moment. Whew. Okay, so he came by at the reception, and he was like, "Hi, I'm looking for so and so." What was that voice? You actually have a nice voice, like that's. Oh, you're looking for who? I don't know where she is. I didn't know that the person he was actually looking for was a sister. It's like, I don't know where I am. I don't know, she comes late. Okay, I'll wait, he said. I was like, wow, such a dedicated gentleman. I didn't actually know they were related. So when she finally came in, they hugged each other. I was like, whatever. And that's when they introduced each other. No, the lady introduced him to me, and he was like, oh, okay, this is my sister, yeah, blah blah blah, this is my brother. And that's how we met properly. So he invited us for drinks, and he was like, every other day we did that. I didn't have a phone by that time, so we literally communicated like face to face, or see you on Monday, or something like that. Then I would write down on my diary, and we started dating. It was actually okay in the beginning because we lived in a hotel apartment, so everything was quite easy. I had my own job, he had his own shows, and until one day, because of being swept off my feet, I decided to quit my job. I know. It's all right. I have already beaten myself. I've already punished myself. It's okay, So I quit my job to move in with him. It was still okay. it was like, I think, our honeymoon period, where we like, you know, still getting to know each other. We still had arguments and fights, but it was like, okay, I think this is it, guys. I didn't see marriage. I mean, personally, I wasn't even like seeing that far. I was like, not that. No, I'm living today. And time came when we had to move from Mombasa. So now I've actually moved from Mombasa and gone back to Nairobi. We've moved in together. We've started life. A few months later, he's even introducing me to his friends. That's my wife. What? When did we, get married? Anyway, so after some time, it was like, I think, I don't remember how long exactly. I'm really bad at remembering stuff. But what happened was that I got pregnant. So it was done, guys. The deed was done. I was, it, yeah. And it was actually good news for us. I remember the day I told him I was pregnant. It was like, oh, come here, give me a hug. Eh. But that's when now things started really, really happening and changing. Of course, I had my own pregnancy moods, or whatever you want to call them. I remember, I think I ate 7 sausages at once by myself. But that's when now I started seeing a different side, because we would argue, and because when we met, I was like in a spell, like, wow. And the wow went for like, wow. Now we were there, where things were clear now that, oh my God, this is real. And before that, I went home and told my mom, hey, did I even say I'm getting married or I'm married? Because, I don't remember if I told her, Mom, I'm married, or I'm getting married. There was no getting married. It was like, maybe I'm married. And my mom was like, huh? Congratulations. Congratulations on your marriage. When did this happen? I don't even know what to call it. I think it's just funny. So oh my God, I'm gonna die right now. I need a moment to catch up. I need to come back to my normal senses right now. So there I was, pregnant, and then no, I need to back up a little bit. I think I need to back up a little bit, because I didn't mention that before I got pregnant. I used to attend all these shows, and I'm just gonna come back to that later. Okay, this is for now. I used to go to most of his shows when he's performing, and just I was still in that bubble of being in love. I didn't even know it was love, or what, I didn't even know what it was, guys. And so it would be like, when he's performing, he's singing up there, he would say something and then mention my name. I'd be like, that's me. Guys, excuse me, hello. Did you hear what he said? He said the name, right? That name is me. Oh, yeah, he's talking about me. Me, the guy who's saying, grow up, Esther, grow up. Anyway, so that's the bit I want to tell you about. So here I am, pregnant. Things have started changing. He started changing. He goes out, because I cannot like go out every night with my big whatever stomach, belly, pregnancy. So I used to stay at home, and he would go to work. After work, he would start drinking with his friends, and he would get home in the morning. And being pregnant alone in the house is totally, I mean, it's stressful. You start thinking, oh, what could he be doing? Where could he be? Oh, why am I pregnant then? I should be out there. You know, you start, and I was still young, remember? So, anyway, I went through my pregnancy. It was okay, it was all okay. And I even remember that when I was just about to, about to give birth, um, we went out. That's how stupid and young we were. I mean, I was, especially. And we went out to one of his shows, and my water broke out there. I was on the dance floor, actually. It's not even funny. But thank God I managed to make, I delivered a healthy baby, my first daughter, who is now almost 17 years old. God bless her. And it was, to me, the biggest joy of my life. You know, like having my own baby, being a mother. I forgot about all the other problems we had because he used to be, I used to get angry so fast, and his anger would come out, or would end up in fights. He would like just, we could be talking about something, and all of a sudden a slap on my face, boom. And it used to be like he's hitting something that he wants dead. It wasn't like he's just like alerting me, or bringing me back to my senses. No, it was like he's hitting me to die. And I didn't tell anybody. I kept all this to myself. In fact, during all through the pregnancy, he would hit me. He'd never thought, oh, she's pregnant, I'm not gonna hit her. No. But by this time, somebody had told me that if you want to, you can't give up on your marriage because of such things. You can't give up on your marriage because he's sleeping with other women, he's cheating on you. You can't give up on your marriage because he beats you up. You have to fix it. You have to be a woman enough. And these were the things that I was being told. And friends, I don't think anyone should be told these kind of things. Anyone should be told to just sit there when someone else is hitting them. So after my first child, things didn't change. Now I was occupied, I was busy, but it was actually better for me because I was busy with the baby, and so it wasn't so, for me mentally I was okay in terms of like I had something to keep me busy at home. But now it was, I think, reversed psychology, because I didn't contact him to ask him where he was when he was out late. He started telling me, oh, so you don't care about me anymore. You must be cheating on me. Why don't you call me anymore to check on me? If you want me to know where you are, I think you should probably tell me. You should probably text me, And when he came home, it would be another fight. I remember he broke my nose 2 times. 2 times over here, like twice. He hit me with his, oh my God, it was life with him. I remember when I sit down to remember life with him, I remember the fights. I remember the times I had to ask him, who were you out with until the following day, But I must say, I'm not an angel myself. I wasn't an angel myself. In fact, I failed in so many things. I didn't know so many things because I was very green and very young. So it wasn't like I knew everything. No. But he didn't give me the chance of us learning together. And people actually, like, I got so many people out there who told me, oh, you're getting into a relationship with this guy. He doesn't settle for one person. And I was like, some people, you know? But there's always some truth in some rumors. In rumors that you hear out there, there's always a little bit of truth, a small percentage of truth. So it's always good, even if you're not gonna follow, like immediately go like, oh, okay, I'm leaving him. No, just put that in the back of your mind. But I brushed off everybody, literally anyone who came to me and told me anything negative. I was like, chick, get a life, like find something to do, get a hobby. Why are you even bothered by my life or the way I choose to live? So our ups and downs were, I think, on a scale of 1 to 10, the problems were 7 out of 10, and then 3 out of 10 were the good times. But the reason I stuck is, like I said before, people encouraged me and told me he will change, things will be okay, things will be fine. But I have, even now, up to now, I think if it's possible to see, I don't know if that's possible. So let me just try. This is a scar that I got that scar when I was married to him, because he pushed me and I hit the mirror broke on the wall, that is. The mirror broke and a piece of, a small piece got inside, cut through my skin and got in there. So when I hear people talking about violence and I'm gonna wait and he's gonna change, and I was wrong, sometimes this kind of people actually make you now start questioning yourself or your sanity, and many other episodes that happen, like for example, I remember one time I just asked him a simple question of like, why did you like switch off your phone after you left home? I'm trying to remember like the small things, like why was your phone off? I tried to ring you because I had a message to pass and I wanted to tell you something, but I found your phone off. Oh, now you're following me, now you're tracking me, come here. And it was like, whoa. Like when you have breakfast, lunch and dinner, fights were that way. It was like breakfast, fights and dinner. Breakfast, arguments and dinner. Arguments, lunch and fights. That's how it was for us. But before long, or after some time, I was like, because the spacing between my two daughters is 4 years. So 4 years, I stayed in this thing for 4 years. 4 years of being punished, beaten. There were good times. There are times that there are times when we lived like a family. There are times when we lived like normal people. But like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 7. The bad times were 7 over 10, and the good times were 3 out of 10. So 4 years later, I was pregnant again with my second daughter. But the humiliation I got from, being pregnant, having another child who is 4 years to look after, and having a husband who is mostly away from home, and when he's home he's fighting. I got so sick that I got admitted in hospital, I think 2 times. 2 times during my pregnancy. First time was at 6 months, second time was at 8 months. And after delivery, I got an infection. My I got an infection. My CS wound wasn't healing properly, and I had to go back to the hospital. My daughter was also sick, and it was just a series of so many bad things. Like, what am I? Why am I getting punished again? What have I done wrong? You know, and immediately I had my, like, I was released from the hospital. I came home. I gave myself 1 month, 1 month to get back on my feet. And that time I was walking actually. I had to use a walking stick. I couldn't walk on my own. So 1 month later, I got better. Now this is plus the weeks that we spent in hospital. So it was exactly 2 months after delivery that I said, enough is enough. And I'm not gonna sit here and wait to die. So he came home. I remember that morning. He came home drunk. And I just like woken up, had my breakfast, and he walked in and said, "Good morning. Why are you looking at me like you don't know me?" And I'm thinking, wow, bro, you just came home. Just go to bed, eat something, go to bed. It's like, oh, so you're the one always gonna tell me what to do. Come here. He pushed me, and I'm thinking, God, I have been patient for so long. I can't take this anymore. And that is the first time that I decided I was gonna use my hands to defend myself. Immediately after that, I took my kids and left. When I left, I had no job, no money, zero. I didn't even want to go home to my mom's place because I was ashamed that I'm scared that my mom would think, what kind of, but I was wrong because, someone's parents are always ready to welcome them. So I should have gone home, but I went to my friend's place. First, calm down and just get myself together. So with two kids, one was 4 years old, the other one was 2 months old, and still recovering. And no money. God bless my friend. I mean, I won't really say your name here, but you are in my heart. So she hosted us for, I think, a month or a few weeks, and then went back home to my mom's. And during this time, it was a really, really difficult time because, mind you, I had no job and I was still like breastfeeding. The kids had to eat something. So I really had to get back on my feet and start, finding something, finding jobs and stuff, because I was determined I'm not going back there. And one of the days I decided to go job hunting, like, what do you call it, tamacking, right? I landed myself a job as a waitress, and that was in Westlands. And I asked them, when should I start? And they said, start now. Go back, go to the bank, get a uniform, get someone to give you the uniform, and start. Guys, I was hired. My kids now were going to be eating some good food, some real food. So I started working, and because this particular place closed at 2 a.m. in the morning, and 2 a.m. in the morning meant I couldn't go back home because it was not very safe to walk at night. So I passed by a certain place. It was like it was a bar, and I would sit there until morning and then take a bus and go home. So that happened, that really went on for some time, until a friend of mine called me and said, "Hey, can you sing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can sing." "No, can you sing really, for real? Let me stop joking. Can you sing?" I said, "Yeah, I can sing." "I can sing." She's like, okay, because I have this job that I have this person who owns a bar and he needs lady singer. And I was like, what kind of songs? And she said, Kikuyu songs. I only knew four, and they were not. I couldn't even sing from beginning to end, but I knew four songs. And I was like, yeah, I can sing. Why not? I mean, come on. So I went for an interview. I sang two songs, and the owner of the place was like, I want that girl. I want her to be performing here. So how many songs can you sing? He asked me. And I was like, quite a few. How many exactly? Do you know? Like you know all songs. If customers come and request this song, would you sing it? It depends. If they ask me to sing a song, I could just like tell them I won't sing that song, but I can sing another one that I know. And he was like, you know what? You're hired. Just practice as many songs and come back, and you can start this coming weekend. And guys, that was the beginning of another beautiful lifestyle, because hey, the money I was getting there was double the amount of money I was getting in the other place. So we were like climbing the ladder. Me and my daughters were climbing the ladder. It was really, really a blessing. Oh, I didn't realize that we have used up the time for today. So I'm gonna wind up today's session or today's story there. And if you have any questions or suggestions, kindly just leave them down at the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. And please keep safe wherever you are. I will continue next time and let you know what happened after that. So thank you very much and adios.